Fanfiction. In the year 1862, there was a time when it was a leaf fall and the leaves on the trees just beginning to fall. This was Arif's favorite time of the year. All the leaves turned the color of his fur, and he could easily hide from his beauty. The weather hadn't even turned cold yet. While the losers worried about the coming leaf bear, and then Arif romped through the falling leaves like there was no tomorrow. He had been building up the pile since sunrise, and it was almost perfect now. The leaves towered above his head like a huge multicolored boulder. Finally, the ginger apprentice called his work complete and prepared to jump. "What are you doing?" The caw startled him, and Arif fell back on his rump. So determined was he not to mess up his leaf pile. He whipped around to see who had spoken, and came face to face with Caw. Arif snorted. "What does it look like I'm doing? I'm going to jump on this pile of leaves." And then Caw studied the pile. "Can I join you?" He asked shyly. After a minute, Arif smiled. "Sure." And then the sun had set by the time they finished. 2 years later, another story begins. It started out with Arif. He was stormed angrily through the briar and brambles. Arif ignored the thorns that tore at his good old pelt. How could Caw have done this? Caw had always, though he felt the same way about me, ever since they had become friends when he was still 9 years old. Maybe the others had always been right about Caw. Finally, the young loser realized he had no idea where he was. Even though the sun had come up, the forest was still dark. Then again, it always was on the cool kids' territory. I should probably get home. Arif though. Home, how could I have forgotten? Just as Arif turned to run backwards, where he thought the camp was, an achingly familiar screech pierced the air. "Caw!" Arif dashed off through the forest, his paws barely skimming the ground. No matter what he'd done, Arif wouldn't let Caw fall. The ground was so cold beneath me, but I didn't care. It's not like I had anywhere else to go. So I focused on holding Caw's paw until Caw saved, and I was very happy about it. So then I told him to come with me, and went off the cliff and have a little moment together. And the sun once again set by the time they were finished. Well, the story doesn't end there yet. The next day, Arif and Caw were walking down the street. Both of us saw a policeman blowing siren. Nagwa, 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 nagwa. It was very loud, which is very annoying. And now they blow more siren, which becomes even more annoying. Nagwa, 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 nagwa. And I saw a trailer horning. Pee 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 pee. Now the policeman continued blowing even more siren. Nagwa, 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 nagwa. And finally the policeman stopped, and we told him goodbye. The end. A fan fiction by Carins.